Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Innkeeper, and today we're going to be looking through the latest Steam branch build for the Alpha 12 of Stonehearth. Unfortunately, I won't really be able to do the video in the more traditional sense, being to just sort of as a mini let's play slash overview of the updates for Stonehearth. For some reason, Alpha 12 is extremely buggy for me right now, and I can't really get to endgame without the game just sort of lagging out completely. I mean, if I had to do it the traditional way, it would just be cutting out every minute. It was absolutely horrible. So I'm just going to have to do this sort of mini overview. It's going to be a very short video than usual. But anyway, I'm sorry about Merv. He seems to be moving around. Why are you so leery? What the hell's wrong with you? Right, it flew back. There we go. Fantastic. So we have new crafter workbenches, which are a very nice addition to the world. We then have world's generation, which is pretty cool. Sort of small updates here and there. I'll go over that. I'm just going to sort of tell you what's going on right here. Then we have a little bit of new content, being rabbits, sheep, a lot more for the shepherd to really do, which is nice to see. We can also plant oak trees now. We can make oak saplings using our farmers and make a little mini farm for them, an orchard if you will, and then we'll get little saplings. You can click on those and then place them in the ground and it will make an oak tree, which I believe does grow over time. I've not seen the entire process, but that's how far I've really gone. They've also added 13 new music tracks. They all sound fantastic. I won't really be able to show you all of them, but there are sort of, you know, listen to the background music in the video, the sort of bits and bobs here and there from what I've gathered from the game. It's very nice. It does fit the aesthetic. I'm very happy they've added those. I'm not just sure what it's like in combat, because I haven't actually... I've played in peaceful mode during this update, because I didn't want to have to go through... like, every 5 seconds we get attacked by a bunch of orcs. I wanted to make sure we actually got to a good point. I do apologise about Merv. Why is he so leery all of a sudden? He always does this when I start talking. So, World Generation is very nice. Basically, they've added a little bit, sort of small pieces here and there to the mountains. You now have sort of nice little ridges and stuff like that. Here you go. Nice little... bits of block and stone hanging out from the sides of the mountain, just to make them look a little less flat, I suppose, a little bit more defined. It's very nice looking. We also have a very large pools of water now, nothing like seas or anything like that, just very large freshwater lakes, that kind of thing. I've not really seen anything huge, like I said, like an ocean or a sea, or anything covering half the map or anything like that. It is just sort of lakes, very large pools of water, that kind of thing. It's not like before where we had sort of very small ponds here and there scattered around the map quite awkwardly. So that's pretty cool to see. As for World Generation, that's pretty much it. Just sort of slight upgrades here and there. It's going to be next update when biomes and that'll get added. Alpha 13. I believe it's Alpha 13. It might be 14. I'm not really too sure. I imagine at the moment they're just sort of trying to make a few finishing touches to the current biome, which I imagine will just be sort of normal grassland, hilly kind of biome that they'll have. So yeah, I feel like this is sort of more of a teaser update, if you will, Alpha 12, just preparing us for the sort of large pool of content that we will hopefully be getting in Alpha 13. But yes, now we also have new crafting workbenches, and when I first looked at this, I thought it was just simply an aesthetical upgrade. For some reason, the carpenter and the mason have upgrades for their workbenches, and they pretty much do the same thing. They do the exact same thing. You don't require them in order to do enhanced work. You pretty much use their default version to do everything anyway. So I have to imagine later on in the game they're going to be adding extra bits and pieces for those workbenches. Now you also have pretty much upgrades for every other class in the game that requires a workbench. Primarily what I've seen, or at least the class that I've seen use them for advanced work, is the Weaver, which uses a loom and a spinning wheel as an addition to their regular workbench in order to create sort of extra fabrics and that lot here and there. So they do use them for advanced work, but I've only really seen them used in practice with that class. They pretty much have them for every class, as I've just said, and I would say they're not only going to be used for advanced work later on, but aesthetically they are very nice looking. You can use them for interior decorating and neat stuff like that. You're probably going to see them on the screen right there. I'd say the blacksmith has a very cool looking forge right there, which is definitely going to look rather nice in an actual blacksmith. So I don't actually have to make my own one now. I can just use that and put it underneath a roof or something. It might be a fire hazard. I don't really know. It's quite large as well. It's not sort of the traditional size for the workbenches that we have in Stonehearth. So that is very nice looking. Now, as for new content, they have added a few extra animals for the shepherd to herd and, I suppose, breed, as it were. We can now have rabbits, chickens, or poyos? I'm not really too sure. And sheep, as per usual. You can feed them. You do require a cook in order to make feed for them, using, I believe, corn, carrots, and wheat. You can make it from level 1, I believe, or level 0 at the apprentice level of the cook. And they do need them in order to keep them hungry. That way you can actually get the required loot from them. You know, chickens, they will give you eggs. Sheep, they'll give you wool. And rabbits, I think you can get... I don't know what they give you. If they give you pelts, that'd be really weird. Because I'm just going to skin you, rabbit. Thank you very much. And just let you go on your way. That doesn't sound like it makes sense at all. In fact, it sounds extremely morbid. Hopefully that's not the case. Now, when they go into a starving state, they don't actually die, I believe. They just sort of do nothing. But once they start eating, then they will start to breed, which is quite fantastic. Got little chicks as well, little chickens, or little mini poyo thingamajigs. I'm probably saying that wrong. I do apologize. It's probably another word for chicken. I do not know. They're trying to be cutesy with it. I understand that, okay? We've got to get around that right now. But I'm just going to say chickens, because that's what they are to me. So there we are. Now, you can also finally, people have been requesting this for quite a while, you can finally plant and create your own trees, which is pretty fantastic. Basically, use the farmer to create a sort of little orchard or a sapling farm. You wait a little while, and then you basically the saplings will pop off them. They'll appear as an item. You can click on them and then place a tree wherever you want. I do apologize about Merv. He's sort of running back and forth right now. It's very rude. Very bad of him right there. But yeah, it's pretty fantastic, and you can't really mine up a tree and then get a sapling from them and then place it wherever you want. You only can farm them up, which I think is not the right way to do it, to be honest. I'd rather get a sapling or an acorn from a tree or something like that and then start planting it around there. But that's their sort of concept. That's their way of doing it for now. It doesn't feel good for me. I'm not too sure why. It just feels strange having a plantation for trees, being how big it is as well, and how many plants you can get from them. But it's just a way to get wood, I suppose. The world doesn't have an unlimited number of trees. Eventually you are going to run out. I've never run out, but there you are. It's just a way for you not have to jump all the way across the other side of the map in order to get wood. So it's pretty fantastic. Now, they've, like I said, added the 13 new music tracks, which are pretty fantastic. The last thing that they've added, I would say, is the extra food for the cook. Now, because you have chickens now, which give you eggs, you can have sort of a multitude of egg-based meals, I suppose. So you can make omelets, you can make fried eggs, you can make a pollo pot pie or chicken pot pie, which is pretty fantastic. Lots of cool things like that, and then a fried chicken or roasted chicken even, which is rather delicious, I would say. So it's a very nice addition to the world. Now, they have added a few extra bug fixes here and there, although they have come along with extra bugs as well as usual updates usually come out with. This is the early version of Alpha 12, so, you know, bugs are apparent. It's a very normal thing. Now, other than that, Pathfinder fixes. So there we go. They've increased the pathfinding ability of our Earthlings just a little bit. I would say they still bug out quite... well, they normally bug out. They usually bug out, is what I'm trying to say right there. They usually stop moving for a while, usually refreshing the game. Pretty much, or stopping and starting the game, makes them sort of start moving around. Sometimes loading back into a save also make them start doing things again. If you save while they're bugged and then go back into the save, that seems to refresh it. I imagine there's a refresh button. I have to make sure I get that sorted out for the, there's like death keys or something like that. I need to reset that, because I think you need to reset every time there's a sort of update or something like that. I do not know. However, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for the sort of slight overview right here. Usually I like to go into detail and sort of discuss small things here and there, but it's very hard to do that when all I'm doing is looking at an audio bar go across the screen right there, and then also look at this sort of small updates. You'll be able to see stuff in the screen of what I've been playing, but I won't be able to see it, so it's really hard to discuss. But there we go. Thought I'd just show that off for all of you. Thank you very much for watching me, the Innkeeper, overview the Alpha 12 of Stonehearth. Hopefully you will have a sort of more stable version for when it actually comes out. Otherwise, that'll be very hard to let's play. But there we are. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for updates on my channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for live streams. You've been fantastic. You've all been fantastic. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.